nice to know that you have joined me to stride with me on this program, and I tell you, I've got a lot and lots of stories for you, such stories relating to security.
We are already re-energized by this donation.
Social welfare.
If other governors in other states are looking, looking at this kind of project, it's very, very nice, and the man is a role model indeed.
And commerce.
Ìjọba ló ṣe gbogbo eléyìí fún wa. Àwọn ní ta wáyà wọn, àwọn ní rí gbogbo pọ̀, àwọn ní la gbogbo títì. Block dẹ́nì kọ̀ọ̀kan wọ́n máa kọ́sọ̀ sí àwọn ní ṣe.
I am Rashid Mabayoje, welcoming you on the program. This is Giant Stride, and on the program today we have first on our lineup the labor story. The national executives of labor unions from Abuja were in Osogbo, the Osun State capital, recently, and their mission to take care of some knotty issues relating to the union. They met with the governor of the state of Osun, Rauf Aregbesola, having taken care of their primary assignment in the state. This is the story.
Governor of the state of Osun, Ogbeni Rauf Aregbesola, has directed the state's Attorney General and Commissioner for Justice, Wale Afolabi, to withdraw the court case involving some labor leaders in the state and the national body of the Joint Negotiation Council. Aregbesola gave the directive while receiving the leadership of the Joint National Public Service Negotiation Council, JNPSNC, at the Government House, Osogbo. Some labor leaders in the state of Osun had last year appealed the decision of the National Industrial Court, Lagos, on the composition of the executive members of the state chapter of Medical and Health Workers Union. The National Secretary of JNPSNC, Comrade Marcus Omahuale, during a court call on the governor, informed him of the pending case at an Akure Federal Appeal Court.
So take it that State of Osun has withdrawn all interest in the litigation against the.
He assured the labor leaders of his readiness to ensure the full implementation of the minimum wage as soon as the state resources can accommodate it. According to Aregbesola, the state of Osun was the first to embrace the principle of the 18,000 naira minimum wage, with the implementation of 19,000 naira minimum wage for workers between grade levels 1 to 7 and other levels according to the pulse of the state. He said he requested the labor leaders to hire a consulting firm on the bill of the state government to form part of the team that will monitor the revenue of the state for the payment of the minimum wage, but labor declined.
This offer is yet to be accepted by the workers there on the ground that will limit their capacity to go into dispute. I don't know, are unions to move for dispute or to remove dispute? No, these are fashion. Are unions there to prospect for dispute and conflict? No, unions are there to advance, guarantee, and ensure the welfare of their members. It is only when you find a fault in what we have suggested that can oppose to it.
Aregbesola, who described himself as a workers-friendly governor, promised to always look after their welfare.
My mind is with the workers. I'm a product of their struggle. As much as I relate to the workers, as much as I want to see that they have the best possible in terms of welfare and their condition of service, we must not equally forget the larger society that all of us are here to serve.
The JNPSNC National Secretary, Comrade Marcus Omahuale, had informed the governor that they were in the state on the invitation of the state head of service, Mr. Sunday Oweye, on the leadership crisis rocking labor in Osun.
They call it forum, whatever name they give to it. Congress, they just gather workers together and begin to issue unnecessary instructions without the leaders of the unions that are in control of their members being carried along. We said such things should not be encouraged.
Solidarity forever. Solidarity forever. Solidarity forever. We shall always fight for our rights.
Our second story is also on unionism. This time around, student unionism, because the leadership of the student unions in the state of Osun gathered in Osogbo, the Osun state capital, to have a tete-a-tete with Mr. Governor. They talked about some issues bordering on their welfare, their academics, and this is how Mr. Governor responded.
Governor Rauf Aregbesola said his administration is committed to the development of education in the state. He said this during an interactive session he had with student leaders from the various state-owned tertiary institutions in the state. The interactive session was held at the Local Government Civil Service Commission. The Assistant General Secretary, National Association of Nigerian Students, NANS Zone A, Awowole Samuel, who spoke on behalf of the students, said, while government continues to make commendable strides, especially in the education sector, students in the state still assume the personality of Oliver Twist asking for more. He urged the Osun government to extend the level of focus it has on the elementary and secondary levels of education in the state to tertiary education as well.
I would want also to appreciate the effort of the governor and the government for what their effort or what they are doing on primary and secondary schools. We really see it. We are expressing this notion, and we are happy as an indigenous or as a student.
While responding to the request of the students, Governor Rauf Aregbesola expressed concern about their challenges and the way they choose to express them. He urged them to imbibe positive and altruistic activism, as he made allusion to the fact that he began his political consciousness through student activism. The governor highlighted some of his intervention in the education sector, particularly the tertiary education. He added that he had been prudently applying the meager resources of the state to cater for all areas of need.
We made 10,000 naira the Courtsey award for all Osun students in higher institutions anywhere in Nigeria. That alone cost this government how much, madam? 216 million naira. We raised the allowance for law students to how much? 100,000. From how much? From nothing to 100,000 naira.
In the course of the interactive session, the heads of the various institutions made presentations on the history of school fees in their various schools. The students were charged to have faith and confidence in the system, just as government continues to invest in the development of the tertiary institutions in the state.
Our next story is on the social welfare angle. Remember that young woman that was rehabilitated, and another story followed in our couple of editions in the past, whereby a woman was also delivered of a bouncing baby boy. She had been, written off that she cannot be useful in our society. That is what the Rauf Aregbesola Administration has been doing, ensuring that those members of our communities whom we feel are no longer useful, we refer to them technically as the psychotic vagrants. Another success story we're bringing to you on this edition, because Sheyi is another fortunate one in the hands of the government of Rauf Aregbesola. This is Sheyi's story.
It is yet another success story as a rehabilitated mentally challenged man was reunited with his family. Oluwaseyi Adefison, a 33-year-old young man, was full of energy and life before he lost his mental balance.
let's say to the governor, Comrade B. Odunade, that I have one problem that we want him to assist me. He said, what about the problem? I said, about my junior brother was drive out from Lagos back to Ife because he was a radionic. After he finished the freedom, I gave him money to go and establish. He have a shop at Oshodi. If you want to go for his investigation, if you reach out to Oshodi, say you are looking for Sheyi, every people will tell you about him. But suddenly the incident happened, but God knows where about the incident has happened.
However, his story changed when the governor of the state of Osun decided to extend his welfare program to the neglected people in the society, particularly the mentally challenged.
She is a young boy who got distracted by nature or by some other forces beyond his control, and he had to find himself outside the home somehow. Today, to God be the glory, and we thank the governor of the state of Osun, Rauf Aregbesola, who organized this program, who approved it, that we should take care of all that are challenged mentally in our community, to take care of them and rehabilitate them.
Mo dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ gbogbo àwọn tí wọ́n ti wà níbẹ̀ pátápátá náà láì kù ẹnìkankan lórí orúkọ ẹni tẹ́ ń dá pé Aregbesola. Mo dẹ̀ dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ àwọn ẹni gbogbo tí mo dẹ̀ ṣe dúró níbẹ̀ náà. Mo dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ àwọn dókítà kọ̀ọ̀kan gbogbo wọn pátápátá. Mo dẹ̀ tún ṣe kú náà mo dẹ̀ tún dúpẹ́ náà lọ́wọ́ mo dẹ̀ dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ ẹ̀gbọ́n mi náà.
Sheyi's elder brother had a special song of praise to the Almighty God.
Gbèsè ọpẹ́ wa pọ̀ a ò lè san tán, àmọ́ síbẹ̀síbẹ̀ a ó ṣe wọ́n tí a lè ṣe. Bàbá láàánú wa ẹ má ṣe o bàbá.
And Sheyi himself was appreciative enough to pray for the governor, Ọ̀gbẹ́ni Rauf Aregbesola.
Gbàdúrà fún gómìnà wa Aregbesola pé iṣẹ́ tán ṣe kò ní díṣẹ́ mọ́ wọn lọ́wọ́, wọn ò ní ṣiṣẹ́ oníṣẹ́ ṣe o, wọn ò dẹ̀ ṣiṣẹ́ oníṣẹ́ gbà o, gbogbo ọ̀nà wa máa gún régé, wọn ò ní rìn síbi tí kò ṣe tiwọn láyé wọn, ìrìn tí wọ́n máa rìn tí wọ́n máa gbé wọn débi tí kò ṣe tiwọn, wọn ò ní rìn lórúkọ Jésù Kristi. Mo gbàdúrà.
And now on security, 100 patrol vans were distributed. That makes it the third time that the Rauf Aregbesola administration has been taking this giant stride, ensuring that the security of lives and property of the people of Osun is secured. And 100 patrol vans were distributed to various security agencies in the state.
Governor of the state of Osun, Ọ̀gbẹ́ni Rauf Aregbesola, has appealed to the federal government to activate the emergency code 112 for the use of the state. He says this would allow for timely response to security, medical and disaster alerts within few minutes. He made the appeal while commissioning additional 100 patrol vans purchased by the state government for the use of security agencies in the state.
Help us appeal to federal government to activate the emergency control center that they have already built with our collaboration so that our people can get to us. We are ready to take over all the financial requirements to get that center operational.
It disclosed that more armored carriers and heavy motorcycles will soon be purchased for adequate policing of the state against crime. And to the security chiefs, this gesture will go a long way in reducing crime to the barest minimum.
It's a situation where security is, tackled headlong by no less a person than the governor of the state. That is to say that he has everybody's interest at heart in this state.
We are already re-energized by this donation. And we pledge our loyalty and commitment to our core mandate. And that mandate is to ensure that the good people of Osun State and indeed Nigeria at large sleep with their eyes closed, go about their lawful businesses without any hindrance or any harassment from undesirable elements.
Easter is over though, but this story that is coming your way now is taking a look at how the Rauf Aregbesola Administration traditionally provides Easter Jolly Ride for the people, that is provision of train services free of charge for the people to come home and enjoy the season with their loved ones. This story captures how the last edition of the provision of social welfare went.
It's been over 2 years since the introduction of the free rail service by the government of the state of Osun to convey passengers from Lagos during festive periods free of charge. The gesture is aimed at taking the burden of transportation of those coming home during festive periods, considering the large number of travelers, the high cost of road transportation, and the risk involved because of bad roads.
They prefer to enter train since they know that, one, they will get to their destination without any problem, and moreover, they are not going to pay for.
If other governors in other states are looking, looking at this kind of project, it's very, very nice, and the man is a role model indeed.
It will enable them to go home again, to see their people, then to meet their families. So I can just thank him because he has done a great thing.
But aside this, it also creates an avenue to boost the economy of the state, considering thousands of indigenes of state who are encouraged to come home.
They will eat, they will buy, they will sell. All these are initial stage of beefing up our commercial activities, which at the tail end, millions may not be able to buy.
Although the primary aim is to cushion the effects of high cost of transportation, these respondents see it beyond ordinary social service.
I've never seen any governor that has ever tried this type of thing before. I go for him, and I wish he would go next time again, another time, and another time again, so that this kind of good services can continue.
In fact, I really enjoy this trip. I love it, and I know that God will continue with this government. We want him again, and we know he will surely get here.
To the Nigerian Railway Corporation, this Aregbesola initiative is an image booster.
It increases a lot of things. It makes people know that, railway is back on track.
For some, traveling on the rail is full of fun. Even on board, it's sometimes merriment galore.
I only feel like to experience it, and I've experienced it. It's fun. Seeing different kinds of people, different type of people, and the way people behave, their lifestyle, get to understand some people. Get to understand them very real.
And over here inside the train, we also have canteen, so you can walk up to the canteen, relax yourself, eat, and you get refreshed.
Traveling on the rail is different stroke to different people.
You're still watching Giant Strike, and our next story is on the Raufs. Have you heard of that? This is the latest organization that has just sprang up. It was launched recently in Osogbo.
It was all excitement, color and sounds recently in Osogbo, where hordes of people gaily dressed in green t-shirts gathered for the public presentation of the Raufs. The gathering was nothing short of carnival. According to the Director General of the group, Comrade Amitolu Shito, the organization is non-profit, non-governmental, founded to promote and propagate the ideals of Governor Rauf Aregbesola in governance and politics. In his address, the state chairman, Malam Musiliu Oladimeji, said the rot and decadence in the state prior to the administration of Governor Rauf Aregbesola's rescue mission was overwhelming. Hence, the need to ensure that the people are conscientized and mobilized to sustain the developments taking place in the state. Several notable personalities drawn across different fields of endeavor delivered lectures at the event. Barrister Mrs. Toye Weje, a legal practitioner based in London, was amazed and delighted to note that those dividends of democracy and good governance that were hitherto thought to be restricted to the civilized world alone are now being enjoyed in the state of Osun. And at the turn of Governor Aregbesola to address the audience, the atmosphere was electrified. The governor reminisced that the transformation taking place in the state is a direct result of his solemn pledge before God to use his position to make life more abundant for the people. He, however, said, what the people have seen is a mere tip of the iceberg.
The next story on our lineup, it has to do with commerce, and precisely all plant sellers in Osogbo, the Osun State capital, now have a better place to do their business. Why? Because the Rauf Aregbesola Administration has provided a better, befitting place for them to do their business, to sell their plants, and that is outskirts Osogbo along Iwo Osogbo Road. They have beautiful place to do their business now because allocation of spaces were done just a few days back.
There are 3 major plank markets within Osogbo, all located within the city center. According to the government, their relocation would ensure the urban renewal program continues. The new permanent plank market is located within the premises of the 18-hectare Ajay market on the outskirts of Osogbo. 1,500 stalls are being built with the required support facilities.
Our plank sellers will not only be happy with this location, it will have worship facilities, canteens, toilet facilities. We've provided power and water.
Even people from other states will come to this place and emulate what is going on here. It will enhance the commercial activities in terms of selling and buying of planks in this place.
Àmọ́ kó dáa ju gbogbo ibi tá à ń ti ń ta pákó tẹ́lẹ̀ lọ. Bó bá jẹ́ pé irú ajágbin yẹn, owó wa la ná síbẹ̀, àwa fúnra wa la náwó bẹ̀. Aròpó ni, àgbẹ̀ transformer ni, ìjọba ló ṣe gbogbo eléyìí fún wa. Àwọn ní ta wáyà wọn, àwọn ní rí gbogbo òpó, àwọn ní la gbogbo títì. Blọ́ọ̀kù dẹ́nìkọ̀ọ̀kan wọ́n máa kọ́sọ̀ sí àwọn ní ṣe. Àǹfààní tá a rí níbi tá a ti wá nìyẹn.
All reasonable members should be happy about this place because it is more or less a government reservation area, and the facilities provided here is fascinating, and it encourages any good marketer, to the place.
The sellers are expected to pay rent to government and subsequently become permanent owners of the stores.
Beautiful viewers, I thank you immensely for being with me on the program today. I tell you, it has been a very, very bumper edition on the program. Next week, same time on this station, is another time when we will bring you fresh edition of Giant Stride. But before I go, I'd like you to know that join me by sending in your SMS, your comments and ideas via these addresses scrolling on your screen at the moment. Until next week, when I come your way again, I say bye-bye.